It's fresh. It's hot. NYSC TV and radio. Tune in to the NYSC TV and radio on channel 365 TSTV and 88.3 FM radio for all-round information and entertainment. The only station managed by graduate youths, brought to you from the Directorate Headquarters of the National Youth Service Corps. NYSC TV and radio, putting the nation first.
Hello, our dear listener on NYSC Radio 88.3 FM and NYSC Television on channel 365 TSTV. My name is Eze Olugele, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to NYSC In Perspective. NYSC In Perspective is a program designed to harness the experiences of notable corps members in order to put NYSC in its right perspective. And today we have one of our friends who in the house who has come to join us today. He is an ex-corps member and he is contributing greatly to the development of education in this country. I have here with me Mr. Idon Akogun, MNHS, Program Coordinator, Idon Program and Electronic Education Initiative. Mr. Akogun, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much. Who is Mr. Akogun? What do we need to know about you, your education, and everything about you?
Thank you so much again and again. Thank you, viewers. Mr. Idon Akogun is a very proud Nigerian. Let's start with that. I recently added one extra age to my years. I just turned 45 years old.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you so much. And incidentally, today is my daughter's birthday, 26th of January. She turns 6 years old today. Ariana, happy birthday. So I am an educationist. Okay. I am one person who believes that our country, our nation, our community, our fellow people around us, our community need to be enhanced, need to grow, and the best way to do that is through educational content. That's what I am. That's who I've always been. I've always believed in family, community, and country to come first.
Which are the schools you attended?
I went to Command Children's School. I went to
Command Children's School where?
In Bonicamp.
That's Rivers?
No.
Okay.
Bonicamp is a Victoria Island.
Oh, okay.
It's a Victoria Island.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Victoria Island. So I went there for my primary education. I went to the Nigerian Military School. I went to the Air Force Military School, Jos.
You're more or less a soldier.
Oh yeah, man, my father's a soldier.
Okay.
So I'm a barrack child, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So I went to Lincoln. From there I traveled abroad. I got a scholarship to go and study in the United States of America with Lincoln University's Go Blue Tigers. So I have been in education. I had a post degree in international freight management. So I have always been one person who have been around both the African continent, Europe, and the United States.
You're a Nigerian, but in Nigeria, where are you from?
Originally from Edo State.
Edo State.
Akoko Edo to be specific.
Okay. You're proud Akoko Edo.
Very proud, very proud. Edo is the best in the country.
You know, for some people who did their tertiary education abroad, one would think maybe they didn't do their youth service. Did you serve?
Oh yes, I did. I think it's very important to serve. While I was abroad going through school, Lincoln University, every semester, I would look forward to coming back eventually. There is nothing more life enhancing than to know that you can some way, somehow enhance your community. So for me, I always look forward to coming back to Nigeria and being part of the solution.
So where did you serve, and can you relate your experiences to us? This is one of the essence of this program.
You're taking me to history now. Okay, so I served in Abuja.
Okay.
Yeah, in Kubwa, in the camp there. It was about 2 weeks, I believe. I remember our our state coordinator, Mr. Frank Ibunobi.
Okay.
One of the things that you enjoy about camp is
it's now a blessed memory.
Oh, blessed memory.
Yes.
It was a wonderful individual. And it was something, I enjoyed the most about camp. That I'm sure a lot of other corps members will agree, is the integration of different communities. From the north, the south, the east, the west, different people that are just from different states, but they actually live there and come to Abuja or come to different states from different communities, different schools to meet at that camp and make new friends. So that was one thing I enjoyed the most about camp, being able to learn from different communities and learn from my fellow corps members that what's it like living in Sokoto, what's it like living in Kaduna or Port Harcourt. Because I grew up most of my life in Lagos and Abuja. So just being able to interrelate with all these people gives a much broader national sense of friendship.
Do you still relate with any of them up to now?
Funny enough, not a lot of them. But at that time, we all played together, did the cultural dances and all of that. Because after I left...
Cultural dance, you know how to...
Oh, yes, I will not do it here. I don't embarrass myself, my children are watching. But really, we had all of those different competitions, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And I encourage everyone abroad that's going to school right now, come back and do it. It's a way of not just, serving the core, but also integrating with your fellow Nigerian age class, and you make new friends. Yes.
Thinking that you studied abroad, were there inhibitions to your coming to serve in Nigeria?
Not as much, because I wanted to. Now, there are a lot of young people who are abroad going to school who live all their life in the United States or in England. So coming back to Nigeria to serve might not be the first thing on their mind. So of course, coming back after 20, 30, 40 years, maybe you've never been to Nigeria, but your parents are originally from here, it might be one of those things they might feel, I don't need it. But I encourage everyone to come, because it's not only fun and educative, it's necessary. Because you learn a lot, and that way it's even part of your resume as you're going to look for different opportunities to work within the public and private sector in the country.
One of the things that is central to rotation camp is the camp market. How was it for you?
It was not fun, because it's one of those things where you go to the camp market, but coming from the US, you're so used to a certain level of interaction in the marketplace and all of that. When you come to Nigeria, you have to get to a new system of cultural orientation with the market. But it was fine, the food and everything.
Wow. To what extent did the life in the orientation camp shape the life you're living now?
No, like we said earlier, my father was in the army, Retired Colonel Idon Akogun, and I grew up more or less
in the barracks.
In the barracks.
Yeah.
So in the camp, and I went to a military
school. You were at home in the barracks.
Yeah, so all that was fine. So for me, it was a beautiful experience, because I was used to it. So I understand all the bunk beds, interacting with your friends. The soldiers would come there, wake you up with the stick in their head, and time to go to the parade ground. So a lot of these things I already understood that flair.
That's one thing, the waking up in the morning.
Oh yes.
How did you take that?
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, some of these things I personally was used to it, so I'm okay with it. But a lot of my members, they're not used to that. Wake up, get up, get time to go to clean your room everywhere. So it's a lot of brash life, but it's discipline. It teaches you a lot of self-discipline, self-motivation, and that gets you even ready into the real labor force in Nigeria.
Wow. After camp, you were posted out. How was the experience?
So that experience was nice. I was working with a different company, with different people, understanding you have a superior. Of course, in Nigeria.
Well, was that the first time you're getting into working life?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. When I was in the US, I worked for the radio station, I worked for the bank, I worked for the state government.
Okay.
So I understand.
You understood the ethics of workplace?
I understand the ethics of the workplace, superiority, and of course understanding that your superiors, of course, have the say of telling you what to do. You don't tell them what to do. You have to understand exactly what is needed from you, and of course be a team player. So all of that I understood. Of course, it's one thing to work within a foreign component and within the local component. So in Nigeria, I'm understanding the little inhibitions from travel costs. Getting from your point A to your point B is not the same thing. There's no train system, but power of issues.
Yeah, you talked about the discipline in camp and how you were so used to it because of your staying in the barracks. When you were posted out from camp, how was that able to rub off on your life?
The experiences in camp for me were very, very, very important and of course very useful in the real world. Nigeria is a very rough country, but it empowers you as an individual just to go out there, further be better than the next person, especially for those who don't have the opportunity to go to camp. Camp, like I said, interacting from different communities, they have that military discipline. I think we go into the real world, and I started my job, just knowing that you have to wake up early enough, number one, to get ready for work, that the camp incorporated that into me more so. And so because as I got older, forgetting the military school component, even just getting up every day in camp, that discipline to wake up, get your clothes nice and ready, ironed, making sure that you're ready, set for the day, whether you need to pack your lunch, get everything set for the day's work, and get your mind and your attitude straight. That was something that I got from camp that, of course, narrated into the real world.
Another area of discipline is financial discipline. I know that as a core member, how much were you paid when you were serving?
I think it was something like 19,000 naira or so.
19,800?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
That was 19,800.
So how did you handle the financial discipline?
Everybody that was a core member with a salary, you turn into an automatic accountant.
Wow.
You have immediately you have to know exactly how much it's going to cost you from your home to your primary assignment and then back again, and of course lunch. The amount of money, to be honest with you, is not really enough. But you have to account for exactly what you use. That way it benefits you to the max where every day of the month.
So were you able to last? Was it able to last till the end of the month? How did you do it?
Magic. Magic. And of course, luckily for me, I had family and friends that lived in the community, so of course that helped a little bit. We encourage NYSC, if it's possible, for a review of that salary just for the
It has been reviewed to 33,000.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, then I'm sure that will help the young people as much as better than Yes.
You've worked with young people for a very long time. What would you say is their strengths and their weaknesses, and then how can we groom these youths to be agents of positive change?
One of the biggest strengths young people have is their youthful exuberance. When you're young, you have...
Is that a strength?
Oh, it is.
Okay.
Oh, yes, because once you're youthful, you're exuberant, you're imaginative. You want to explore. You want to do something new and different. You don't want to be with the crowd. You want to, there's this idea that once you're older...
Concepts keep coming into your head.
Exactly. When you're older, they feel you're traditional. You go with history, things that worked, you want to go with that narrative. When you're a young person, sometimes you want to do something brand new and exciting. You want to try something different. So that is a strength. Because if you don't adventure out into something new, you don't know what's better in society. So that is good. But of course, that comes with a level of carelessness sometimes. Because if you don't,
so that's the weakness.
That's the weakness. If you're not careful to make sure what you're trying new is tried and tested before you put it out there and you fail, you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting other people around you. So you have to be very careful, the young person, the decisions you make, how it affects you, your people around you, and generations to come.
So how can we now harness the strengths and the weakness in order to make them agents of positive change?
NYSC does it very well. Teamwork. The minute you're getting to camp, the minute you're working in teams, you start realizing your idea is on a monopoly of the great ideas. Working with your fellow core members who are originally Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa from the South, you start seeing different components of the way they think. And that being said, what happens with that component of team building? Everyone puts their little ingredients in the pot and makes a wonderful soup. As long as you know that there always is a team leader, but of course you're putting components of everyone's idea. That way you don't just go in there with what you think, you're going there based on concepts and team building and making sure everything is working together as one.
And that is what NYSC has been doing over the last 50 years. NYSC will be 50 years this year. And how can you assess NYSC in its efforts at uniting the youth, bringing them together for national development and growth?
Again, first of all, congratulations to NYSC hitting 50 years. I think it's 50 years of advantageous success in Nigeria. The reason I say so is because, like the question you just asked, the Nigerian youth, if you go to Sokoto, I keep using Sokoto, but if you go to the northern parts of Nigeria, the southern parts of Nigeria, what do you see? The primary focus of schools in those areas are young people who are originally Yoruba or Igbo or Hausa or Fulani. Now, the NYSC has successfully integrated different people from different backgrounds in one pot. That, I think, is a wonderful success that NYSC aims to achieve, and they achieved that. Now, what does that mean? It means that even if I'm Igbo and I go and work in Kaduna, I'll still feel at home because I've interacted with somebody who is Hausa and is a Muslim. And so it's not a culture shock for me to be in that community anymore. Some people, hang around different other ethnicities and not pick up their language. So going to Kaduna as a Igbo person, as a Yoruba person, going to the east, you're not as unfamiliar with that terrain. So that's what NYSC has been able to achieve in the past 50 years. And I give them kudos for that, for giving these young people a safe environment during camp to make them interact, learn discipline, and now go out there and also be part of the success change and the solution in other communities across where they live.
And this kind of bringing together has also brought about inter-ethnic marriages. And those are some of the things that makes the country become stronger.
That's right.
Because you don't have to feel bad against your in-laws and all that.
Yes, that is very true. Inter-ethnic marriages, I believe that the closer we are as a country, the stronger we are. There shouldn't be this shyness of saying, oh, because he's not a Ishakiri or he's not from a part of Djibouti, therefore we cannot be together. No, not true. What makes us different makes us beautiful. So we should, NYSC has successfully broken that barrier of, cultural segregation to a unification of cultures. And if it's by marriage, wonderful. If it's by teamwork in the work environment, even better. As long as we remove that stereotypes that because you're from there, you're not my friend, or because I can't marry you. NYSC has broken all those barriers, allowing young people to integrate, of course, maritally, to move the country forward.
Actually, in one of the objectives of NYSC, one of the reasons why they bring those people together and lift somebody from one state and then post the person to another place is for that person to go there and experience firsthand those things he or she has heard about those areas, to either to see if it is true or if it is false. But most times it is false. Because you now see somebody, an Igbo man, going to a Hausa man saying, these people are not as bad as we think they are. They are not bad. They are the ones that accommodated me for this 1 year. They did this and did that. That's right. So that's what NYSC has done in the past 50 years.
It's even vice versa. It's the other way around as well. I believe as a young person who is from the east going to a northern state, even the community will see you, and what they originally thought of Igbo people will change.
Yeah.
Just the way you interact with them, your humility, the way your hard work will also rub off on them as well. So I think it works both ways.
Both ways, okay. That's what NYSC has been doing the past 50 years. How do you see NYSC in the next 50 years, if they continue on this trajectory?
I think that you can't, when you've done great, you can only do greater, to be honest with you. And for me, I'm from the education background. That's what my main focus has always been. So I think technology is the next step. I think NYSC should continue to sustain and enhance the way they use technology, both in the camp and also in different communities. I mean, like now we're working with the NYSC radio and TV, and I was just saying a second moment ago, we're off air, that the technology, even in this room, is amazing. It's world class, to be very honest with you. So I think even at that, maximizing multimedia and integrating with our core members wherever they are for their safety, for their convenience, to allow them work with the headquarters of their state, or even just within their own little state, when they say they can work with their core members and have their own Zoom groups. I think all these things are things that NYSC can enhance to make these core members feel safer and more proactive towards the future.
We'll be going on a break, but before then, I will ask you to do something for us. We normally ask our guests to do something,
okay,
and that is to see if you can remember the NYSC anthem and sing it for us now.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I wish if you're doing a better job asking me to just say the Nigerian national anthem, but I don't know NYSC anthem. Let's see. As I do the clarion call.
Youth obey the clarion call. Let us lift our nation high. Under the sun or in the rain, with dedication and selflessness, Nigeria is ours and Nigeria we serve.
All right, you see, that's unfair.
Dear viewer, will go on a quick break.
Yes.
It's new, It's fresh. It's hot. NYSC TV and radio. Tune in to the NYSC TV and radio on channel 365 TSTV and 88.3 FM radio for all-round information and entertainment. The only station managed by graduate youths, brought to you from the Directorate Headquarters of the National Youth Service Corps. NYSC TV and radio, putting the nation first.
Dear viewer, you're still tuned to NYSC TV channel 365 and NYSC radio on 88.3 FM, and the program is NYSC In Perspective. Our guest has been Mr. Idon Akogun, and he has been here with us, and we had a fruitful discussion on how it has been for NYSC in the last 50 years. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, he is an educationist, and we are going to delve into that area. Mr. Akogun, you are the program coordinator for Idon initiative. You say it's an electronic education initiative. Can you elucidate more on that?
The Electronic Education Initiative is a program we developed back in 2009. The goal is to use multimedia technology to link schools in developed countries with schools in developing countries. So what that means pretty much is that what I do is find partnerships with universities, polytechnic, college of education to teach live into the Nigerian classroom. So now if you're a student of the university, a polytechnic or college of education, we can have teachers, faculty, facilitators from Cambridge, Howard, Lincoln University to teach live into the Nigerian classroom. It's a system that's never really been done before, and we're trying to maximize how we can use technology to bring our classrooms to the world and our world closer to our classrooms.
Does it have to be a formal setting of like a university? I, as an individual, can I key into the project?
Oh yes, you can. It's funny, with COVID-19, the distance learning, online learning has now become a reality, and it's here to stay. So one thing we also developed is the LMS system, learning management system. So with your tablet, cell phone, laptop, desktop, you can just click on the click of a mouse, upload an application, and from that application, log into your class. Your facilitator will teach you live from the remote part of your home, wherever you may be, at home, at the office, and you can still take a certificate of completion from any program of your interest. Maybe it's integrated pest management, robotics, smartphone, smart farm.
Robotics?
Oh yeah, robotics. Different program. This program we're doing with smart farms is very interesting. After a 2-week program, the attendee will be knowledgeable on how to maximize an application and sensors on a farm. That way you plug in sensors across the farm, your phone, your tablet will be able to tell you which parts of that farmland is good for maize, cassava, rice, and so on. So it's very good for young people to learn these, and that way go and work in the remote areas with farmers and need to teach them on the best ways to utilize the farmland during the seasons.
Is the process flexible? You know, in Nigeria we have a lot of issues of power, issues of connectivity, internet connectivity. So is it flexible in such a way that I can plan when to join and when to log off?
So with the in-class programs, those are not flexible because they are set times where the professors are teaching from there. Of course, the United States is sometimes 6 or 7 hours behind, so it has to be a set time during that period. Like you're doing remotely from your desktop, you can be anywhere in Nigeria you can, and just log in from your phone. But of course, like I said, these are live interactions. These are different from the online programs we do in the past.
It's not recorded.
It's not recorded. It's live. So you can ask your questions to the professor. He's responding to you in real time.
Wow. Yeah. So how can our core members key into this kind of program?
Our website is www.e-don.global. Log in, see our different programs we offer throughout the year. If you're interested, just go ahead and let us know. Send us an email and we'll start doing the registration process for you.
So what would our core members stand to gain in this kind of program?
Now, one of the things the program tries to achieve is that we're not trying to change the Nigerian education system, but enhance it. So once you're a core member or even a graduating student and you want to just have an added degree to boost your resume, log into our system and see what we have. We have a lot of entrepreneurial programs. Like I said, smart farms is something you can learn in 2-3 weeks. You're done, and use it immediately and make money. Because that way you go into the farm, let the farmer understand this is what you're going to do for them, this is the service you're going to provide. And whether you have a community of farmers, community of farmers who have cooperatives, what I'm trying to say, cooperative of farmers, they'll pay you, and you can go into the farmland and help them execute this knowledge for them. And that's one way of doing it. Integrated pest management and robotics and different programs that you depend on your own value. What do you want to learn? What do you want to do? Once you understand exactly what that is, come and skim through our programs and what fits you best. Come on, let's start.
Well, finally, what words of advice do you have for our youth? You know, they are in the process of or in the journey of self-discovery. So what are those life nuggets that you can give them in their journey?
You know, I have 2 beautiful children, Hima and Ariana. Ariana's birthday is today, like I mentioned earlier. And the same thing I would want any parent to say to me, I would say to my children, I would say to the co-members. Nothing in life comes easy. You have to be persistent. You have to work hard. There are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts to life. You have to work hard to make sure whatever you're trying to achieve, you achieve. So with that said, think about what your plans are for the future. How does it affect you? How does it better your family? How does it enhance the community you live in? That's my best advice for everyone. Please be persistent, hard work, and be diligent.
Be diligent. You've heard it all from our guest today, Mr. Idon Akogun. I think I got it. Idon Akogun, MNHSS, the program coordinator, Idon Program and Electronic Education Initiative. He has been our guest today on NYSC In Perspective, and we've discussed a whole lot of issues bordering on core members, NYSC at 50, and Idon Program. That's what you can take for today's program. I remain Eze Olugele. Bye for now.
It's new, it's fresh, it's hot. NYSC TV and radio. Tune in to the NYSC TV and radio on channel 365 TSTV and 88.3 FM radio for all-round information and entertainment. The only station managed by graduate youths, brought to you from the Directorate Headquarters of the National Youth Service Corps. NYSC TV and radio, putting the nation first.